a safety clinical trial. It was conducted by the British Industrial Biological Research Association. It was published in the Pacific Health Dialogue. This was 96 people, a double-blind, placebo-controlled 1-month trial with a high dose, okay, of Tahitian Noni juice, and that was 3/4 of a bottle. Okay, 750 mils of noni a day was found to be absolutely safe. So why I'm telling you this is some people say, oh, what happens if I drink too much noni? Is it dangerous? Nope. 750 mils, and trust me, no one is going to drink 750 mils. So it's really a very, very safe product. Now, here in Europe, we recommend a daily dose of 60 mils a day, but I do know that you can, a lot of the trials, which I'll talk about, are on 30 mils a day. So 750 mils is very far away from the daily dose that we recommend. This is really interesting because this was the antioxidants in heavy smokers. Now, this one we conducted at the University of Illinois College of Medicine, and it was published in the Chemistry Central Journal. This was done on 285 smokers. This was a double-blind, placebo-controlled 1-month trial. 30 mils only of Tahitian Noni juice a day lowered the free radical significantly in the body. So free radicals, what are those? You know, when you smoke cigarettes, you are putting all those chemicals into your body. There's no way for them to come out unless you, stop a lot of the damage that the free radicals does. So the Tahitian Noni juice, just 30 mils a day for anybody who smokes cigarettes, is amazing and can stop some of the damaging effects that you have from the cigarette smoke. This was a great study. Again, this was lowering the triglycerides and helping with the cholesterol levels in heavy smokers. And CRP is inflammation. So obviously, there's a lot of ways we can get inflammation in the body. Inflammation we want to constantly reduce. This study was conducted by the University of Illinois College of Medicine. It was published in the Scientific World Journal. And this was 132 smokers, heavy smokers. And when I say heavy smokers, they smoked over 1 pack of cigarettes a day. It was a double-blind, placebo-controlled 1-month trial. And the Tahitian Noni juice helped the body significantly reduce triglycerides, CRP, which is the inflammation being reduced, LDL cholesterol and homocysteine, and the HDL cholesterol increased, which is what we want. You know, LDL is the bad cholesterol, HDL is the good cholesterol. The placebo they use is always a blueberry juice in all of our trials. It had no effect whatsoever. So this is incredible. Again, if you know anybody who smokes, they need to be taking Noni. Now, this is one of the reasons why I love taking Noni juice, and that is my energy. Yeah, so this is conducted by the Moscow Scientific and Practical Center of Sports Medicine. It was published in the Journal of Medicinal Plants Research, and this trial was with 40 people. It was placebo-controlled, again, blueberry juice, in a 3-week trial. And Tahitian Noni juice increased energy by 21% and increased our antioxidant activity by 25%. Now, this is great because this trial was done on 60 mils a day. That's 1 bottle. So, you know, if you are talking about someone who wants to increase their energy and you were to say, you know, after 1 bottle, you could increase your energy by 21%. Would you be interested in trying this product? This is proven. So I do absolutely love showing the research to new prospects all the time. So let's take a look here now. A lot of cyclists, I think cyclists are really an interesting area to take a look at because it's a real up and coming sport. And, you know, they are really interested in getting the most out of their body. So we took a look at the effects on maximizing the VO2 max in cyclists. What's a VO2 max? The VO2 max is the amount of oxygen that the body uses to expend energy. Okay. And a watt, VO, for cyclists is the technical term for talking about the energy used in cycling. It's just specific lingo that they used. So this was published in the current research journal of biological sciences, and it was conducted at the University of Chile. We used 30 volunteers who were top cyclists, 3 groups. Again, we try to use at least 2 groups, but for this one, we used 3. We used 1 group on Tahitian Noni juice. We used 1 group on the placebo, which was blueberry juice. And we used 1 group just referencing and watching what was going on to validate all of the research that was done. This was a 14-day trial with Tahitian Noni juice, okay, only 2 weeks. And the Tahitian Noni juice group increased the VO2 max and the 50-watt VO. This is amazing because everybody in athletics, whether it be cycling, running, tennis, they are looking to increase the amount of oxygen in their body getting to the muscles for them to be able to do their sport better. This is fantastic. So again, if you know anybody into sports who wants to use this product, please remember, we also have a certification on the Tahitian Noni juice called the Cologne List certification, which means it is backed by the Cologne List Anti-Doping Association, and top athletes and Olympic athletes can use Tahitian Noni juice in their sport 100% legally, but only the Tahitian Noni juice that we sell, because our Tahitian Noni juice goes through so much testing with the Cologne List to make sure that it is safe. There's no steroids in there enhancing their performance. It is 100% Tahitian Noni juice that is enhancing their performance. So let's take a look at the TNJ in the anti-AGE, which the age levels of, our body. And of course, we think that this is really important. So we want to make sure that our body is aging naturally. And of course, we are helping with the metabolism and conserving muscle mass. So this was published in the journal called Problems of Nutrition. It was conducted by the Institute of Nutrition of the Russian Federation. There was 90 people on a 6-week trial. They used the Tahitian Noni juice, and it improved their atherogenic index. What that is that, it increases all levels of anti-aging within the body. It improved the iridoid intake. It increased the energy metabolism, but it also conserved our muscles. So this is great if you're looking to lose weight, because we want to increase the energy of our metabolism and speed our metabolism, but we don't want to eat our lean muscle tissue at all. So I love using the Tahitian Noni juice alongside the Hero range for that wonderful anti-aging, as well as increased metabolism to reach your weight loss goal. This is really, really superb. Great. So let's take a look at our skeletal muscle. Now, this is also important because, again, we used highly trained athletes for this test. It was conducted at the University of Port Harcourt. It was published in the World Journal of Sports Science. We used 60 people. We used 43 highly trained athletes, and we used 14 placebo-controlled people. And it was a 1-month trial with time to fatigue treadmill tests at the end of the trial. So basically, they take the product for 1 month, and then at the end of the month, we put them on a treadmill and we make them run until they're tired. Okay, so it's very simple, but everyone was at the same level at the beginning. And TNJ helped the body decrease the serum creatine kinase. Now, this is a marker for muscle spoilage. Very, very important for athletes. Athletes need to keep all of the muscles intact after all of the exercise. Now, the placebo we used in this one was blackberry juice, which is why I added the type there. But always we use blueberry juice unless we specify. Maybe for this trial, they could only get blackberry juice. I don't know. So, but we will tell you, normally it's blueberry, but in this case, it's blackberry. So you can take a look at all of this research and more research that we have if you visit www.noniresearch.org. This website is actually owned by the PartnerCo research and development team, and we upload information and research all the time to this website. It is really great that you can point your customers there, because there's many other research on how it helps with diabetes, how it helps with cancer. And so sometimes this is the way we get around the compliance of the product itself, because all of the research and the claims are not necessarily compliant in each market around the world that we sell Tahitian Noni juice. So this is the best way around it. So I want to thank you very, very much. I'll stop sharing now. I hope you enjoyed that, and I want to open it up to some questions in case there's any questions that we might have.
Awesome, Barbara. I've seen a couple of people asking that they would like to ask questions.
Great.
In the chat. I see a hand up. Kainde, you can go first.
Hi, thank you so much. Ms. Barbara, thank you so much. I loved your presentation. I can listen to you all day. I was just curious though, with people, the trials, are they taking the Noni during the day or is it at night?
They'll be taking the Noni normally once a day, because most of them are done with a 30 mils. So it doesn't matter what time of day that you take the Noni juice, as long as you are consistent every single day. So for me, what I like to recommend for people is to actually have it in the morning if they can. Because if they have it in the morning, they're going to start feeling the effects during the day. Most of us are busy during the day. We want to keep our energy high. So I would normally recommend they have it during the day. But if you have someone working nights, for say there's nurses, doctors who work nighttime shifts, then of course they can have it during the time that they are the busiest to support the body as much as possible.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Kainde. Kingsley, you can go next. I see your hands up.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Mrs. Barbara, thank you so much for the amazing presentation.
Pleasure.
I would like you to throw more light on the dangers of inflammation and the oxidative stress, because most times people don't really know the harm it causes to the body. So if we can help enlighten people on what those things are and how Tahitian Noni juice can help mitigate the effects, I think that will go a long way. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, inflammation. This is really important. All disease, every single disease starts with inflammation. So it is really important for us to have an anti-inflammatory diet and for us to use products that constantly bring our inflammation down. So if we want to use Tahitian Noni juice as a prevention, then that prevention is to keep our inflammation, the CRP levels that I spoke about in one of the slides. You can do a blood test to check your inflammation levels. It's called CRP. And we can actually prove that the CRP levels stay very low with Noni. So when the CRP levels are low, okay, the chances of us getting one of the diseases of civilization, I call it that because those are, a lot of these are lifestyle diseases. That's cancer, heart disease, diabetes, mental health issues, obesity. Those are all caused by a lot of inflammation that is in our body. So, you know, I am so passionate about keeping everyone's immune system to the highest level, but keeping the inflammation at the lowest level. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, it does.
Okay, okay. The second part to that is oxidative stress. So this is also important because we are bombarded with chemicals, with toxins, you know, they're on our food, they're in our water, they're everywhere, okay? So what these does is these send sort of free radicals into the body, and then it starts to attack the cells. So we want to, you know, try to keep those away as much as possible. But oxidative stress can sometimes just happen when the body just starts aging. And every day we're aging. So every day I take Noni. So I can stop the aging process and to keep this oxidative stress under control. Now, obviously, some people who are in have diseases or in a very stressful situation, the body will age faster. Okay. And this oxidative stress can eat away at our vital organs, you know, your heart, your lungs, your kidney, the liver. And so taking Noni juice, remember I said it's great from head to toe. It's because we can keep this oxidative stress at bay. Great. Does that answer your question, Kingsley?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Barbara. That was so much information you just shared with us. Thank you, Kingsley, for asking that question.
Great question.
Cornelia has a question in the chat.
Yeah.
She's asking if someone who is on chemotherapy, can they use Noni?
Yes, they can. Absolutely. So there's no contraindications with using Noni juice. Noni juice is registered as a food supplement, not a medical device. Okay, so you can recommend it as a food supplement, just like you can recommend apple juice. You can recommend Noni juice. It's the same. And that's how it's registered, which is really amazing. So which means that you can use it during chemotherapy. Now, what's really good, sometimes during chemotherapy, they get a lot of like sores in their mouth. Okay, so you can freeze the Noni juice into an ice cube and you can suck the ice cube. It will soothe the sores that they get in their mouth from chemotherapy. And sometimes with chemotherapy, they also have a very metallic taste in their mouth and they feel like they want something very cold. So it's really good. Get some like, what you call them? We call them ice lollies. What do you call them?
Yes. We also call them the same.
The same.
Yes, ice
The
lollies.
same. Yeah.
Yeah, so get some ice lolly molds, yeah, and pour some Noni juice in there and freeze it if you're going through chemotherapy. And you know what? It's just nice to have when it's really hot. And you can have it like that. So that's really good.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you.
Great.
We'll take just two more questions. Nick Papas is asking, what effect has Noni to cancer? Still talking about cancer.
Do you know what? On the noniresearch.org website, there's a lot of information on how it is prevention for cancer. But if you have cancer, especially tumors, how it can reduce tumors as well. So it is really very, very good. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll just take one last question. Someone is saying that they read that someone with low blood pressure cannot use noni. Is that true?
So noni does contain potassium. So if their blood pressure is really affected by potassium levels, low blood pressure is fine because potassium can raise the blood pressure a little bit. But if they have high blood pressure, then just get them to check with their doctor. But you know, they would, again, do you remember I showed you the slide of drinking 750 mils? You'd have to drink a whole bottle, okay, a day, one whole bottle a day for it to affect your levels for high or low blood pressure. So if they want to try it, they can, but otherwise there shouldn't be any contraindications with high or low blood pressure. But if they'd like to run it past their doctor, that's always a really safe thing to do as well. And I know that—
Thank you so much.
Sarah,
go ahead, Barbara.
Sarah, did you want to just ask a question?
Yes, Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah's hand is up.
Hi, Barbara. Thank you so much for an amazing presentation. It's like the brain is full. Anyway, I do have a question with regards to autoimmune disease, because I've got some clients that want to consider taking the noni. Obviously, there's going to be lots of inflammation in their body, but can you explain to everybody on the call, because there might be other people, that, you know, how is the Tahitian noni going to help with like that kind of disease? Because obviously your body's fighting all the time.
Exactly. So Tahitian noni juice is really good for autoimmune diseases, especially lupus. I don't know what autoimmune system that they might have, but we have a really good study on lupus. Lupus is one autoimmune system which affects every single area of your body, and most people end up going on steroids with lupus. So if you can keep away from steroids, that's really good. But yes, it not only helps to reduce the inflammation, but it tends to heal the body as well. So it can even out the blood sugar levels, it can heal the liver. And of course, we're working on both the, the two types of the immune system. So it's not going to affect the body again. How do I put this? With an autoimmune system, your body's own immune system has turned on your body, right? So what this does is it kind of helps to switch it back and separate it, okay, to get the healing properly happening within the body. It really is a fascinating process. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be corrected after one bottle. You need to be very realistic when you're looking at autoimmune system, because either they're, it's something that the body has created over 20, 30, 40 years, and then these issues come up. So my rule of thumb is that they need to commit to at least 1 month of taking a product for every 10 years of their life. So if they are 50 years old, then they need to commit to taking the product for at least 5 months, because it's taken 50 years to create the product, to create the issue. We want that time for the body to heal itself and to all the pathways to uncross, right? And come back and normalize. And that does take time. But we have proven time again with our studies that this can definitely be done. And especially lupus, because I do know that there's a lupus one there, and lupus is one of the worst autoimmune diseases there are.
Thank you so much, Barbara.
Pleasure. Precious, you have your hand up.
Thank you, Barbara. Great, wonderful presentation from you. My question is, what
the connection
really bad.
menopause. Or assist in menopause problem or situation. Thank you.
So just because I didn't hear the question so well, are you asking about Noni and menopause?
How can Noni assist in the pre-menopausal syndrome or early menopausal
Yes, I'm going to say yes because I am 55 years, I'm 56 years old now. I'm 56. Obviously, I am in a post-menopausal state. I don't have any symptoms. I've never had any issues going through the menopause. I haven't, and I believe it's because I've used the Partner Co supplementation and used Noni myself. So I really feel that Noni is great for helping with menopause. To alleviate some of the issues. Again, some of the issues of menopause can be foggy brain, low energy, not sleeping well, gaining weight. And so, yes, I've talked about a lot of those today. So if you have any of those 4 symptoms in perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopause, it can definitely help alongside the hero products as well. Don't forget, those hero products are amazing when we take a look at the menopause symptoms. We have, the cleanse, the purify, the digestive enzymes. All of those are imperative to use alongside the Noni for any menopause symptoms. And just thinking of that, we should actually do a special webinar on menopause as well.
Awesome. I totally agree. We should do that.
Yeah.
I know we had one on Women's Summit. There's so much issues with women that we want to continue with that. So let's do this. It's already agreed with the market. We will do this coming up.
There we go. It's coming up. It's coming up. Don't you like how we make some great decisions for you all? That's great.
We just made that decision right on this call. It's coming up.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, everybody. As always, if you have any questions, please get in contact with Blessing and Neo, and they always have a hotline to me. They, I talk to them, these lovely ladies, all the time, and really happy to help as always. We already have another webinar planned, so listen out for the date, and we will get the menopause one in there as well, and let's finish strong this year. Let's have a fantastic year. And I'm always happy to help. So thank you so much, everyone.